Curious Kid Podcast. I absolutely love it when listeners suggest episode topics that we, here at Curious Kid Podcast headquarters, probably would not have thought to cover. This week's topic is one that I find very interesting, although I know little about it. Let's find out what we're getting curious about in this episode.
Triple mailbag!
Triple mailbag! I love listening to your podcast with my mom every Sunday. Can you get curious about zodiac signs? Keep being curious. From Ava of Downpatrick, Ireland. Hi Jacob and Olivia, my name is Bella. I am 11 years old from Scotland and love your podcast. I have listened to all the episodes and I am curious about zodiac signs. What do they mean? I hope you get curious about zodiac signs. Hello! While hiking the dunes at Crane Beach in Ipswich, Massachusetts today, my 5-year-old daughter Suki was aching for some entertainment for her ears. As an avid podcast fan, Suki's exhausted already the new episodes of all our faves, and I was curious to know if there was one about Sesame Street. So I looked it up on Spotify, and there it was, your episode on Sesame Street. We were doubly excited when my daughter heard you pronounce the word water. She said, "He says it like you do, water." I listened with curiosity as you referenced Lancaster, the Amish, Sesame Street place, and as a native of Cherry Hill, New Jersey myself, I could recognize your accent immediately, and imagined you to be around South Jersey, and sure enough, it sounds like you're in or around Voorhees, as we learned on your last episode in Season 1. We are curious about zodiac signs. We love your podcast. It's the perfect length, and the interactions between you and Olivia are endearing and entertaining. Suki laughs her head off when she hears you greet your listeners with a long hello at the start of each episode. We're pumped that there are so many episodes to discover. Thank you guys, and keep it up, Sue and Suki.
Wow, I love those messages. We are so lucky to have fans that show their love of the podcast by sharing such heartwarming messages. So thank you. This is going to be an awesome episode, thanks to the suggestions we received from all around the world. We can't wait to learn all about zodiac signs for Ava, Bella, and Suki.
But before we get things started, let's hear the question of the week.
The question of the week is, which sign of the zodiac signs is represented by a fish? I'll give you some options. Aries, Pisces, Scorpio, or Virgo.
Okay, let's delve into zodiac signs and what they mean.
For thousands of years, people have believed that the position of the sun, moon, and stars can impact our personalities. In other words, our position in space affects us and the relationships we have with others.
There are some people out there that think that zodiac signs and their ability to predict the future is just a bunch of nonsense, and that it's no more predictive than the fortune you might find in a fortune cookie. There are others that strongly believe in the zodiac signs and all the messages that they provide. We are going to learn a lot about zodiac signs, so you can decide for yourself how you feel.
In order to understand zodiac signs, it helps to know what astrology is. Astrology is the study of different objects in our solar system, like planets, the sun, and the moon, and how they affect things here on Earth. Astrologers believe that planets pull energy in, and as they move through the solar system, they affect the energy of different objects all around. The changes in energy, even though they can't be seen or felt, are believed to cause events to happen here on Earth.
People have been examining movement in the night sky for more than 25,000 years. It's been proven that those movements impact things like weather and the tides of the ocean. Animals even use the Earth's position to determine the best time to hibernate, migrate, and have babies.
But is it possible that the position of objects in the sky can determine not only things about the weather, but also our actions and behaviors? That's where zodiac signs come into play.
The word zodiac comes from the ancient Greek zodiakos kyklos. Translated to English, that means the circle of little animals. There are 12 zodiac signs that are constellations, or groups of stars, that appear along the path in the sky that all planets move through, as they make their way around the sun.
A full circle is 360 degrees. Each zodiac sign represents 30 degrees, or 1/12 of the circular path in the sky.
Your zodiac sign can be figured out based on your birthday. It's the constellation that the sun is passing through at the time of your birthday.
I'm a Libra. Since my birthday is October 9th, and Libra covers all the birthdays from September 23rd to October 22nd, the word Libra translates to balance.
So, once you know your zodiac sign, you can look up something called your horoscope. Your horoscope is supposed to help guide you. It doesn't necessarily tell you what to do, but it can be used to help nudge you in the right direction. It's your job to interpret your horoscope and decide what it means to you.
Here is my Libra horoscope for today. It says, stand back from your life for an hour or two and assess, with total honesty, where you have done well and where you have fallen short of the targets you set yourself. Overall, you are in a pretty good place, but can still find ways to make it better.
That's a pretty interesting horoscope. What do you make of it?
Well, I do tend to spend lots of time harping on things. I agree that I'm in a good place, but I can find ways to make things better or maybe do things differently.
So I'm not sure if you feel like your horoscope really resonates with you, or if you think the whole thing is silly nonsense. Listeners, why don't you read your daily horoscope with the help of a grown-up and decide for yourself what it means to you and whether you believe in zodiac signs and horoscopes. You can always reach out to us at CuriousKidPodcast@gmail.com to let us know what you think.
We love learning more about our listeners, so this would be a great way to learn more about you.
Zodiac signs can be grouped into one of 4 categories. There are fire signs, water signs, earth signs, and air signs. Your zodiac sign, Libra, is an air sign, and people with air signs are known for having great intellectual and communicative skills, being adaptable, and using quick thinking.
Your sign, Virgo, is an earth sign. People with earth signs are believed to be practical and grounded, showing stability and reliability.
I think those descriptions are pretty accurate, at least when it comes to the two of us.
Well, why would anybody question zodiac signs and what they mean for us?
There are a few arguments that are made by people that don't believe in zodiac signs. One is that 2 planets, Uranus and Neptune, were not yet discovered when zodiac signs were created. That means that the influence of those 2 planets on our lives has not been studied, even though they would be relevant.
Another potential problem is that the Earth wobbles on its axis. That means that zodiac signs would have shifted since they were identified. As an example, the spring equinox, when both of Earth's hemispheres get an equal amount of sunlight, is in the constellation Aries. Over time, that's changed, so now the spring equinox is Pisces. All that means is that your zodiac signs are off by around a month.
Another issue is that the constellations are different sizes. When developing the zodiac signs, each constellation was given an equal portion of the path taken by all the planets around the sun, 30 degrees for each constellation. But if some constellations are bigger than others, they should get a larger share.
Whether you believe in zodiac signs or not, there is one thing all of us can agree on. That is that Noah always uncovers 5 incredible, astonishing, inconceivable, and unbelievable facts in each episode of the podcast. Here, with 5 unbelievable facts you need to know about zodiac signs, is Noah. Take it away, Noah!
Fact number 1. The least common zodiac sign is Capricorn. That covers anyone born between December 22nd and January 20th. Christmas Day, December 25th, actually has about half the number of births as the most common birthday of the year, which is September 9th. Over 12,000 babies are born on September 9th, worldwide every year. Fact number 2. Astrology and astronomy are not the same, even though they sound similar and people might get them confused. Astronomy is a type of science that examines celestial objects, space, and the universe. Astrology, which is what we've been learning about today, is not a type of science. It just examines how celestial objects affect human behavior and events throughout the world. Fact number 3. If you are an Aquarius with a birthday from January 21st to February 19th, you might be more likely to be an amazing athlete. When studying a list of the greatest athletes, it turns out that many of them were born under the Aquarius zodiac sign. Babe Ruth, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Michael Jordan, 3 players that might be the best ever to play their sports, all share the same zodiac sign, Aquarius. Fact number 4. The most common zodiac sign for U.S. president is Scorpio. 6 presidents have been Scorpios, and those are John Adams, James K. Polk, James Garfield, Theodore Roosevelt, Warren G. Harding, and Joe Biden. Maybe that's because Scorpios are regarded as being warriors for truth and justice. If you are an Aries or Virgo, you might be less likely to become president, as each sign only has 2 presidents. Fact number 5. People who don't believe in horoscopes think that horoscopes lead to something called the Barnum effect. That is when somebody believes something because the information is so broad that it could cover anyone. For an example, my horoscope today says there are many changes going on in my relationships. When I think about it, it sounds like it applied to me. But chances are it can apply to anyone, Scorpio or not. If you plan to read your horoscope today after listening to this episode, read the horoscopes of another sign too to see if they resonate with you as well. Perhaps horoscopes always sound accurate because they can apply to anyone.
Wow, that's a very interesting thought and a great way to cap off your 5 unbelievable facts. It's now time to answer the question of the week. Which zodiac sign is represented by a fish?
That would be Pisces, which covers anyone born from February 20th to March 20th. Pisces are believed to be artistic, emotional, and imaginative. Other signs represented by animals include Aries, which is represented by a ram, Taurus, which is represented by a bull, Cancer, represented by a crab, Leo, represented by a lion, and Capricorn, represented by a goat. And finally, Scorpio, represented by, you guessed it, a scorpion.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's podcast, number 270 on zodiac signs.
Great job, Olivia, and great job, Ava, Bella, and Suki, for shooting for the stars with that fantastic episode topic suggestion. Join us next week when we will get curious about pigs for listeners in Kansas and Canada. As always, thank you so much for listening and getting curious with us.